Although judgment has already been passed, for the sake of records, I need to go ahead and hold court. In the case of the 22, which is the path itself, the path is built upon passion. It's the 23. It is manifestation, not manipulation. The clown views it as it is a source of weakness, and he has fallen prey to it and become a victim. What do you mean, clown? Why do you see yourself as a victim to passion? I think that's just your contrarian nature. Raziel warns about not going through it enough and getting to your Phoenix portal, which could have you crying based off of the clown's energy to want to tend to become the victim when it comes to passion, the crimes of passion. Eshu warns of trickery, which is pretty funny, being that Eshu is the trickster. The human me feels like a genie. It's all a lesson, and I'm only here to make gains, but yet I feel like I'm in bondage. Ipos, the daemon, has said to just simply embrace your birthright. It is who you are. You're born into the ability to manifest. You have the word. You are the word to manifest, so therefore manifest the 3 into the 5, and that is the best way to get abundance. Embrace your natural gifts. That can get you the passion you seek. Tabitha, dear Tabitha says, nigga, rejoice. You are the Phoenix. You are at the portal. You are the God and Goddess. Rejoice in that. In the case of the 11, the illumination, it is based upon the connection of those ones, the connection of the ones to become the 2, the potential from both sides to just simply be. The clown says illumination is the motivation, because when the lights are on, you can see all things, and therefore when you can see all things, you can do all things. Raziel says to embrace the abundance of everything. The connection is here. Everything you need is already with you. Just don't demonize yourself. Eshu says make sure that you share your connection. The best way to make sure the connection is solid is by sharing it with the other ends of the connection. The human me thinks that there's a lot of taint. It is not fully seeing who I am, which even though I may proclaim myself to be God and Goddess, I am not fully ascended to my throne. I need to look in the mirror deeper at how deep the connection goes. Ippo says just be patient, dude. Be patient. Don't move too fast, or the gift of balance can quickly become a manipulation if you move ahead of schedule. And Tabitha kind of confirms that by saying that you don't become a martyr. Have the discipline to keep still enough to honor the connection, but not only just honor the connection, but trace it back to its core. In the case of the 7, it is the teacher. It is Ariel, my teacher. So self-awareness has to be based off of your lessons. Learn how to manifest and not fall prey to the manipulations of the 5. The 5 and the 7 will get you discipline. Discipline will get you communication, and the communication will show you creation. The clown, the fact that he has an awareness beyond what I am aware of that connection, he feels justified in moving through the awareness of self, because he's more aware of who we are than I am. I am. Raziel says you need to honor reality. Reality lies outside of La Luna. You can play with La Luna as much as you want to, but you need to understand that you're going to have to operate outside of her safely. Eshu says watch out for the battles of war. My self-awareness, the awareness that my path is tied into passion will always keep me in war, because a large part of my energy is caught in this trickery and this not ascending to throne, as these lower level energies, which are the higher energies, are trying to tell me to do. Embrace and rejoice. But I'm too busy trapping my energy and crying and falling into tricks and becoming the victim and always chasing passion. That will keep me running after love, but always falling into war. So Eshu warns me of that. The human in me thinks that I'm doing good. It thinks that it's a strength. Self-awareness is a strong point for me. I see where there are taints within the system, and I try to burn through them. So I'm going to honor that. My 7 is in alignment with my human self. I'm fighting through it. I'm removing the obstacles. Ippo says, yeah, if you're here to learn, you're learning, but also as you learn, you teach. And as you teach, you also get taught. But Tabitha warns that in trying to learn the lessons, don't become a martyr by picking up more experiences than what's your fair share. In the case of the 1, the potential, the self, here to be the tower, get rid of the pieces of me that no longer serve, become the Kali energy, find my 7 by becoming the 1. Eshu, no, the clown draws out Eshu. The clown draws out Eshu and says that order is perspective. If he's going to be the contrarian that he is, then where there should be free will of tearing down the pieces that don't work, the clown will choose to just be ignorant and ignore some things because some of the things are what helps it, gives it the foundation to keep moving against the grain in the first place. Raziel says that uncertainty, because there is the instability of myself from not fully understanding my 7 and my 11 and having a hard 22. It can find me ungrounded at times, and that potential is hit and miss. It's always there, but it can be hit and miss. Eshu says all you got to do is see yourself in the mirror. See yourself for who you truly are. Understand and honor your full potential and move forward from there. Human me thinks that in order to get to the full potential 1, that I have to take some losses. I have to get rid of these binds. I have to get rid of these vices. I'm going to honor that because that's me, and I'm kind of, that's exactly where I'm at. Ippo says, understand that you are already in plentifulness, and that some of the things that you're trying to discard are really some of the things that you just need to, in some senses, transmute, but in other areas, yes, you need to discard a few so that you can gain the plentifulness of yourself. And it's not necessarily, okay, I kind of see where that's going. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, and I'm gonna honor if you feel something different. But I think this is the call to get Mac back in. By trying to come back into 1, then I need to bring back the pieces of me. This is a call to bring back all the fragments and all the other stuff. And again, even right here with this human me, is I need to lose the parts of me that have separated. To me, this genie is actually Mac. Is I lost a piece of me when Mac went into separation. So Mac needs to come back in. And right now my little filter is highlighting the boy on the twins. So I'm taking that as a sign. Yeah, I need to bring him back in and get that plentifulness back into oneness. And again, Tabitha will condone that, because again, with this being the Queen of Spirits and it still being plentifulness, this is that which was born needs to be whole. And even though Mac is the bornless, he needs to be brought back in, because even in there being no birth, he still is in existence. And this is the Queen of Spirits, that is existence itself. Not all spirits are born. So yeah. In the case of Mac himself, Mac is again the illumination. He is the 56. The 56 is the 11. So he is the connection, and in the connection he is trying to place himself into a state of disconnect. So with the clown, it is saying you need to watch out for Mac, because Mac will try to bring you in enslavement, because that is Mac's fear. Mac fears becoming enslaved and put back into wholeness. Dude, it ain't like that. Raziel says that he needs to be the source of motivation. Listen to his words. Listen to his words, and it will show you which way to go instead of becoming a distraction. Use Mac as a motivator and not as a distractor. Eshu says to break him back down, he needs to sit down. A trickster is calling out a trickster. So Eshu was saying, Mac, you need to sit down, dude. You need to come back into oneness. Stop this trying to become into plentifulness by separating yourself. So this is Eshu advising Mac, come on back home. The human me is saying, I feel unrooted and uprooted because parts of me feel like Mac has been here before me, yet not before me, and I'm not fully understanding that. So there's some timelessness going on in there that has me some kinds of way discombobulated. I'm man enough to admit that. But the Ipo says that Mac is moving with carelessness. He is going against the grain. He is not honoring the Merkavic fashion of existence. He is not getting me growth because he's trying to find separation, which is a careless move for an entity of his level and knowledge. So he needs to watch it. And Tabitha is telling Mac that he needs to cut the illusions and cut the games and get into the full sense of reality, the responsibilities of energy. Again, as Ippos has stated to Mac, you have too much knowledge to play the games you play, so cut it out. And the overall court ruling from the council as a whole is it's time for the games to end. It's the Sun card in reverse. You cannot be born, Mac. You have to come back into the fold. You have to die back into the wholeness. It is not a death. It really is a chance at a resurrection of this whole. Say again, Mac, this whole. Be the connection that I need to find the passion that I need to teach so that I come into order.